Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Captured in the Psych Ward. Here it is. You see, after Martin Kelly's sister arrived at the hospital to pick her brother's body up and take him back to England with her, Robert had a sleepless night and decided to go out and watch TV because he was too bloody bored and he had a lot on his mind. You know, really, Robert wanted to go home, and being a kid, he didn't know much about respect. And Kate came out and said, "Would you fucking turn this TV fucking down? It is keeping me fucking up all night." And Robert told Kate to fuck off. And Ron just got up out of bed after getting a phone call from his grandson Billy, who was 12 years old, and coming to stay this weekend, which is 2 days away. And work was so tight, he really couldn't get time off. But he did have some extra overtime credits he could use. But Ron liked to use them on big holidays. But having his grandson come over is a big holiday. So he went into work today, like normal, go to the cafe, talk to Fran and Danielle, and today's topic was about families, mainly because Ron said his grandson Billy is coming in 3 days, and Fran said she had 2 kids and no grandkids, and Dan said that she has one son named Bill, who was 12, and every night Bill runs around me and my hubby all time. And then Ron said, "Well, my grandson is 11. How about we meet over the weekend, and both of our kids can meet each other?" And Dan said, "Okay, if you weren't living in a rundown property in the middle of the Victorian Alps, I would love to come to and play Ron. These are modern times. Why the fuck are you living in a rundown property for? You should be getting heaps of money from this cafe." And Dan said, "Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? But my dad wanted me and the kids to live with him. I have to get my family up at 4 in the morning to get here on time." And Ron said, "Oh yeah, life's a bitch. Well, we can't meet at my place. You are an adult." "Well, yes, Dan. I will let you know." And then Dan went into the HDO to check out on his patients. And he was told that Robert has been sitting watching TV all night and he hasn't had breakfast. Maybe we should see to have him released. I don't think he is very well, and he might be under suicide watch. He is too young for this place. And Ron said, "Okay, I'll have a word with him." So he went over to Robert and he said, "Robbie, what's up?" And Robert said, "Well, I've been in here too long and the patients are too weird. Like that stupid phony that arrived at 3 this morning who sat next to me." And Ron, curious about Robert, but what Robert was saying, said, "Who was this phony?" And he said, "He was this man who had this hood-type jacket and blue and white Canterbury Bulldog shorts." And Ron said, "Oh, him. He was the nighttime volunteer who works here at night to look after younger people like yourself if they can't sleep, to make them feel better." And Robert said, "Maybe if I knew that, I might not have been so rude. Now, thanks to you, I feel worse. No, he ain't allowed to say he's a volunteer, because he is there for you guys. But he ain't allowed to ignore you for being rude either, okay? I will have this dude look after you in the future." And Robert said, "No, you fucking cunt. I want out of this hellhole. This is clearly not working for me." And Ron spent the day trying to find out what is wrong with Robert, while the nurses handled the medication. And Ron said, "I really think this boy isn't ill, so we shouldn't push drugs down him." And Naomi suddenly came out saying, "We are captured, captured, captured. Us young dudes have been captured in the psych ward today." Naomi and Robert and Ron came out and tried to settle Naomi down, but this was hard, and Naomi was still refusing medication. And the staff, because of this, still say she is a threat to people around her. And when Ron had finished talking to Robert, he had a few words with Brad, as well as Susan and Pete. And mind you, Pete was having a lot of problems. And yes, Ron took his time to look after his grandson and said he won't be back till Wednesday of next week. And Robert and Naomi were sitting there watching TV together, and Paddy came out saying that he missed the plane to Washington, D.C., and he needs a private jet, and said, "Can I go on the internet to book myself on a private jet?" And the nurses said, "Yeah," said, "you can't expect a free ride." And the doctor said, "Okay, Patty Rowe, sit down, and I will make you a hot chocolate." And Patty Rowe said, "No, I need to get to the White House. I have a meeting with Obama." And the doctor said, "Here is the medication that is right for you at the moment. Go to your bed and relax, because this place is close to prison. You can't expect a free ride here." And Susan said, "Yeah, you will never get a free ride to the States in your situation, you cunt." And Ron went home to get the house ready for his grandson. And he is off work till Wednesday. And he is happy as Larry. Ha, ha, ha. And he visited the cafe and told Fran and Dan he will be bringing his grandson in. And that is it for the time being. And it was certainly a good show, and I hope there will be more to come in a few more days, probably.